Welcome to My Life, My Choice, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of August, 2016, and the hour is 1 p.m. My name is Dr. Drwendydearborne, and I am a choice expert coach, among other things, and I will be your coach. I'll be your host for the next 60 to 90 minutes. My co-host is Olivia Lashley, who is coming to us live from London in the UK. Olivia is a choice expert and, is a expressions expert and coach and an artist. Yeah, I'm getting that all wrong, isn't it, today? It's going all upwards.
Because you weren't sure I was going to be here, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you were moaning and complaining quite bitterly about not getting time off, and all I kept thinking was, well, you were off the week before. I couldn't correlate that. I'm like, you were off.
Big difference between 1 week off and 4 weeks off. I don't know if you if I owed you £4 million and I gave you one, would you not be a little bit PO'd?
I'd be kicking your ass all the way down the street, mate, like an empty can. Believe me. Where's my money? But yes, when phrased like that, yeah, I can definitely see where that's going. So, darling, what's new in your world? Anything that you're ready to share, wanting to share at this moment?
No, not really. No, not really.
Okay, all right. So when we come back after our break, or when you come back after your break, you have some news for us, yeah?
Yeah, perhaps, if you're good.
Then I'll just tell. I'm just going to tell it.
You know, the other day you talked about Heather trying to find out what you do. That's what it sounds like right now.
She might be listening.
You said it on the radio.
I did I? Oh,
you did, yeah.
Oh, I outed her like that. I love your hair. You know we're cool. You know you're my girl and everything. You know you're my girl. But yeah, so outside of that, Liv's working hard, and I know, I can't help it, but I know you're working on a new project, and I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait for our listening audience to hear, about that, and perhaps if there's any correlation with what you've done in regard to the universal laws and spiritually to get to that point, if there's anything at that particular time for you to share. Shirley just came on the line. Hey, Shirley girl. Yeah, she told me she loves me best yesterday.
So you can say that because she's not on air, so Yeah,
well, she did. She did.
I didn't hear, so I choose not to believe it.
It
wasn't in my mattress sphere. It wasn't in my reality. Last time I was the best. I was the best ever.
Oh gosh. All right. If it makes you feel better, I will allow you to have it. Although I have to say, you're living in an illusionary world.
But who you just say what an illusion is. Thank you very much.
She told me yesterday. That's how I know. That's how I know.
I mean, and how do you know
Olivia, it was not an illusion. My cell phone. And she was like, oh, this is your cell phone. Yeah, it is. But no, it's all good, darling. No, all's good in my world. Working on a couple of projects, very much like yourself. And no, Heather, I am not divulging yet. Working on a couple of projects and seeing where all of that's definitely going. Hopefully I don't. You know how it is. You get on your computer and you click here, there, and everywhere, and everything kind of.
It can do.
Yeah, it kind of freezes up. So hopefully, I had actually meant to pull this information before. But such is life. Come along now. Thank you. See what happens when you love love your electronics, when you love that they're moving in the right way. Actually, speaking of which, guys, I'm going to digress here very slightly, Liz. Did you actually see the one of the posts that I did yesterday and it was about the traffic in Ethiopia.
That was crazy.
I had never seen anything like that. I mean, I know
My
some
gosh.
European countries can be bad, and I know Jamaica bad when you're driving near. But I was like, my biggest thing about that, guys, if you are if you follow me on Facebook, if you go to the Laws of Attraction in Action, you'll actually see this video, and it's captured from a slightly aerial view of a major intersection in Ethiopia. I ain't seen not one traffic light.
No,
I don't see a pedestrian crossing.
There was a pedestrian because people were you saw the little people, the people crossing. Just thinking, oh my
But
goodness.
listen, there's no lines on the road, nothing. People don't stop. People walk in between the cars. I saw cyclists, and the cars are turning left and right, going straight, going up, going down. And my thing was, with this whole thing, looking at that, what I got from that, what I took away is that there is I want to, honestly, an intuitive in-tuneness, a telepathy that people have. And there's a unison that people move in this flow. You see, I would go there, and if I was driving and not in the flow, as I said, one, if I was walking, I'd get mowed down, right? I know that. I would get mowed down, okay? Even if I was with somebody, Livs, I could see them saying, come, go, and I'm like, but the cars, I can feel the heat of the car.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, go. But until such time that you become in unison and you become in sync and you are intuitively in tune to what this driver's going to do, it won't work. But everybody there's in unison. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah. I also think they have a kind of like faith in that they have a belief that they're actually going to get to wherever it is they're going to go. So traversing that intersection is actually not really a problem because you saw them. Sometimes some stopped, others stopped, then others went and others stopped. So, they actually didn't need traffic lights at all. Not at all.
Well, I would have needed a few traffic lights.
But then it's as you say, it's not what you're used to. You're not in that that sort of like mind frame. Neither would I be either.
It was serious. And again, guys, if you haven't seen this video, you can definitely see it. It's on my page.
Sorry.
The Laws of Attraction in Action.
It was serious, but there was a beauty in it.
Of course there was this, because it was like poetry in motion. The people have this one stops, that one, although I dread to think what it would have been like with sound. I kept saying, would I have been hearing, see, I think they used to.
Because I wondered how fast. I wondered how fast they were going, and then I was trying to gauge how fast they were going by looking at the pedestrians, but it didn't really make a difference.
No, they were going as fast as the cars, mate.
But seriously, I mean, bloody well had to, didn't they, really? If they wanted to make it to the other side.
That was really interesting, guys. So, again, and to look for it, it's out there, not just on my page, it's floating out there in the digital world. It is a major intersection, one of the major intersections in Ethiopia. An amazing video.
It's the answer to how did the chicken cross the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
With faith.
With faith. And actually, you had said that, Livia, and that's very, very true. That they do have faith they're going to get where they're going. I mean, even driving in Jamaica, like, beep, 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 beep. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, right, okay, got it. And driving in Paris, I tell you what, driving in Paris for me, that was a little, actually I didn't drive. D drove. I'm like, dude, I can't, I can't hang. I can't hang. I went to the British School of Motoring, and we signal and we push and pull the steering wheel. I mean, I came from a whole different world. But anyway, guys, that being said, welcome to the show. You are live with me, yours truly, Dr. Wendy Dearborne, and Olivia Lashley, who is an expressions coach and artist. I'm a choice expert coach, amongst other things. Today we are talking about why am I living a life sentence? Why am I living a life sentence? And sometimes our lives can feel very much like we are living a life sentence. And that doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it is. And some people feel this because their life isn't manifesting the way in which they want it to do. And a life sentence, for me, this is a play on words, because today we are talking about the power of the word. Now, Olivia and myself, we have done many shows on the power of the word, and a lot of what we do literally comes back to that. A lot of what we experience actually comes back to that. And so the synopsis that I had written was simply this: every day, every minute, every second, you are living out your life based on 26 letters, or the 26 letters of the alphabet. And it's these letters that you string together that formulate your words. Each word that you create brings conscious meaning and understanding. You know, hey, Jamila, girl, you always come on after Olivia and myself have our little chat. I got my eye on you. Right. Each word creates conscious meaning and understanding of your thoughts. Your words are used to communicate this understanding, and this understanding that you have is sent forth to bring into manifestation what you have asked for, recognizing that when Olivia and myself talk about the word ask, we are coming from the Aramaic, which means, ask means to claim and demand. We're not talking about to beg, to supplicate, to hope, to wish for. We are talking about claiming and demanding. So your words go forth to bring back to you that which you have asked for. And you see, you're bonded to each vowel, each consonant, and every syllable. For the words that you speak, write, think, these are the things that create your life.
Sorry, for the words that you, what did you say?
For the words that you speak, the words that you write,
okay.
You think, they all create your life. Now, yesterday, I actually did a little research to make sure this really backed up what I was saying. And all the spiritual texts that I read, including the Quran, all the spiritual texts that I read, including the Quran, they support this, the power of your word to create what you want. All of them. This is the basis of most things that we do. And yet, most of us have little understanding, or no conscious understanding of the power of our words and how they impact our lives. You see, one of the things it is so important to understand, as I said here, and again, all the texts that I looked at yesterday, said this, and this is from Isaiah 55, verse 11. This comes from the Bible, okay? Actually, I should have written down what was in the Quran and some of them, the others, but I didn't. I just read it. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I've sent it. And what that says, basically says, whatever you put out there in word, thought, or deed, it has to come back to you. Everywhere, guys. This is absolutely everywhere. And this is the foundation upon who we are and how we came, actually how everything has come into being. You see, again, oh, that's the book thing. Again, there are 26 letters in our alphabet. A, E, I, O, U, these are the 5 vowels, and you have 21 consonants. These letters are the foundation of creation. These letters are the foundation of creation, and that's another thing. You look into Buddhism, you look into Judaism, you look into Christianity, you look into Islam, Muslim, you look into all of these faiths, all of these beliefs, in addition to who I am, the metaphysical beliefs, the New Thought ministry beliefs, the spiritual beliefs, and ironically, even the pagan beliefs, like, what do you call them? Wicca? Anyway.
Yeah,
okay. Even that, everybody is saying the same thing. That the words that you speak, and in this instance, because we use 26 letters in the alphabet, as I said, 5 are vowels, and the other 21 are the consonants. We use those. These are the creation of foundation, and not just your foundation. They're the creation of all foundations.
Even the languages that don't have more or less than ours.
Exactly. And there are languages, like in Hawaii, they've got, I think, 15 or something. Really, I don't know how many of those.
How do they speak? How do they communicate?
They've got about 15 or something. Actually, they do have 15. I don't know how many vowels or consonants, but they have a lot of consonants put together to, to name stuff. And you're driving, and, we're driving around when we were there, and, like, phonetically, I was having a hard time putting that stuff together. And ironically, Dee could get it.
Mm-hmm.
Dee would be reading, and he'd be like, oh, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, whatever, dude. Because you're from Louisiana, whatever. But I was having a hard time. I was really looking for, the AEIOU to give me a little help out. Yeah. But they have a lot. There are other countries, too, that use a lot. They're very heavy in consonants, like, I want to say Russia or the Baltic side of the world. Very heavy in consonants and how it comes about. But that being said, letters are the foundation of creation. And as Olivia said, it doesn't matter what language you speak. Actually, it doesn't even matter if you can read or write. And you see, this is the amazing thing. None of that matters. None of that actually matters. What matters is that you are able to speak. You see, these letters bring to life your thoughts. They literally bring to life your thoughts. And these thoughts have been formed in your imagination. The 21 consonants and the 5 vowels allow you to express yourself. They allow you to express yourself. And one of the things, Liv, I don't know if you found this, but one of the things that is huge is that people don't realize that it's their divine right to express themselves. Mm-hmm. They're always on this bandwagon, I need to just shut up, or nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Well, while that might actually be true, sometimes I ain't interested in what you're going to say. Actually, that's what I was saying to the ladies yesterday. Sometimes I ain't even remotely interested. And depending on who you are, for the most part, I'm going to let you know, I don't want to listen to that today. I'm not interested in hearing that today. All right? It's not working. But that being said, it's not about what other people think. It's about what you think. You see, our letters, our words, they are the basis of all communication. And this is whether the communication is internal, which all communication starts internally, or externally. How we choose to express it, the filters that we choose to put on it, because, somebody could be wearing a dress and, they kind of tore up. And, you can be nice and tell them, ooh, honey, you don't look so good in that dress. And, she's not hearing you. That's like, if I said to Olivia, Liv, I don't think that dress is very flattering. She'd hear me. Now, if I said to my girlfriend, Donis, Don, that dress isn't flattering, she'd literally, I swear to God, she'd tell me, girl, you don't even know what you're talking about. I look too fine in this dress. But if I said to Donis, girl, you look tore up from the floor up in that dress, oh, girl, I need to go and change. And so with that, you have to be able to express yourself. And I've actually jumped way ahead, but you have to be able to express yourself in a modality in which people understand. But I wasn't going there with that. Were you going to say something anyway, Liv, as I got?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. Is that about right, Liv? Because if I said to you, you look tore up, you look like a damn fool in that dress, your feelings would be crunched, no?
I'd ask you to leave. There's the door. Please vacate. I would ask you to leave. That's how much I'd be bothered by it.
You are so sick. What you like? But yeah, you know, you have to know who you're speaking to. But again, I've jumped ahead of myself. That being said, let's see if I can get myself back on track. The basis of all communication is internal, which is where it starts. External, which is where we go. We use filters. Oh, that's where I went. I started talking about filters. We use filters. Even with ourselves, we like to use filters. I seem to be on that track, so maybe I'll stay here. Even with ourselves, we use filters, and we use these filters sometimes at the detriment to self. You see, when you're talking to yourself inside, you don't need filters. Sometimes filters create lies.
Sometimes we create filters within ourselves.
Exactly. And that's not to say that they are bad, because sometimes you need to slow your roll with yourself. You don't need to be so harsh with yourself. You don't need to talk to yourself in that fashion. And sometimes we create filters, and sometimes those filters can literally block that which we need to know so that we can do what we need to do.
100% agree with that.
And they really do. They really do, Liv. Anyway, they really do. They, meaning words, create a universal spiritual language. Okay, words. I don't care what country you come from. I don't care if you can read. I don't care if you can write.
Even if you can speak as well, you know, because there's sign language.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you, like as Uncle Neville said, it doesn't matter if you can speak. Mm. Because there's something going on up there. A lot of people will see somebody who is considered to be physically challenged. And because they don't communicate the way in which you do, a way in which you need to understand, you feel that they are less than. You know,
or you have all these kids that are on medication for ADHD. You know, and that in itself is okay. They relate. Their relationship to their world and the people in their world are different from what is to be expected. But it doesn't mean they should be on a medication.
Exactly.
I don't believe anyway.
It doesn't mean that they're any less.
Yeah.
What it does mean is that we who are especially if they're kids, we who are communicating need to investigate and use different ways of communication. You know how many people say to me, oh, I can't get my kids to talk to me. And I'm like, okay, all right. And they just can't understand how their kids just sit down. They talk. Them little babies tell Auntie Wendy everything. I'm serious. And it's all in how you approach people. It's all in how you approach people. But words are a universal spiritual language that has no regard for age. It has no regard for gender, no regard for race, no regard for creed, no regard for health, no regard for wealth, religious or spiritual beliefs and or doctrine. You see, words are a spiritual language that couldn't care less whether you are dead or alive. Because words will continue. Whether you're breathing or not breathing, your words continue. Your thought process continues. What you do in your imagination continues. This universal language, and I've already said this already, but this universal language is simply called words. It's simply called words. And whether you speak these words aloud, or whether you keep these words in the seclusion of your mind, whether you project them telepathically, or you express them with body movement. Your words are used to communicate what it is that you are wanting for yourself here in this incarnation, in this life, and what you are wanting to experience in the celestial realms, in the heavens, spirit world, wherever it is you feel that you go when you die, even when you go to the nothingness. For the people who believe that there is nothing after death, you'll have words there. Because where you go, your words go. Where your words go, you see, for each of us, each spoken word, silently or audibly, it creates through a vibration, the dynamic for your soul, for you, your soul, to sing your unique song. Okay? And what I mean by that is for each of us here in this life, each of us who have come into being, never mind in this particular incarnation, for the fact that you are the essence of who you are outside of life, before you chose to come into this life, there is a universal, a celestial, a divine, spiritual purpose that you are to fulfill, never mind being here. But the fact that you have been into creation. That being said, while you're here, there's stuff that you need to do. And it is a divine purpose that you need to fulfill. And fulfilling your purpose truly begins with understanding how powerful you are. We have been taught, Liv, do you agree with this? We have been taught to disempower ourselves.
Absolutely, Wendy. I mean, there's no question. You know, just like, to give an example, sorry, excuse me, of kind of like what we all do. Okay, say like you are eating, like, just say cream cakes, okay?
Ooh.
And you know, that's exactly it. and you know, you look, there's one left. You've had right, there were 10 in a packet, right?
And I ate 9.
And you look down, and there's one left, and you think, oh, I'm just going to eat it. And then, you know, another part of you is kind of like saying, no, you really shouldn't. You kind of like had enough. And another part of you is saying, well, no, you know, I really have had enough. I shouldn't eat anymore. But the caveat is always there. You know, but I should, because I shouldn't. No, because I shouldn't. No, because I should.
Mm-hmm.
That's the caveat. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you have to justify yourself to yourself is pretty disconcerting.
And it is.
So you have like two sets of dialogues that's going on. One's quite assertive, knowing exactly what it wants, and the other ends up being in a defensive position, which it's found itself in because the other part had made such a definitive decision. So I think we mostly tend to usually listen to the part that is defensive.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
And gosh, I'm sorry, my bullet points are just gone all skew with.
And with that, Liv, if I may be so bold as to save you, with that, what I would say...
Knife in shining armour.
No, not a knight.
There were female knights.
Okay, Joan of Arc, I got it. With that, oh, now you put me off track. No,
I come to your rescue now.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was joking.
Oh, you're so wrong. No, what you're saying is really true. We have been taught all the don'ts.
Exactly.
You can't.
Exactly.
Why would you?
I mean,
how are you?
And when you think about it, invariably we're looking for direction. Invariably we look outside of ourselves direction, but we're always actually being given direction internally. And it's like, why would we not place our faith in a definitive decision or a definitive thought that has come through, as opposed to placing our faith in a thought that is working hard to counteract the intuitive thought that came spontaneously, and that is an intuitive thought. You know, when you just think, okay, I'm going to do this, and you do it. Mm-hmm. But we, as you were saying, Wendy, we've been sort of like nurtured or indoctrinated to think that being spontaneous, acting instinctively is wrong. But it's not. It's not at all. Most people that are spontaneous, because you do have people who are quite spontaneous in things they do, they tend actually to be quite happy.
Yes.
And they're happy until they're happy until kind of like the proverbial hits the fan in that spontaneity. But also the thing that they're actually able to do quite quickly is pull themselves out of it. That's right. Pull themselves out of it and carry on with what they're doing. So most of the time they actually live quite a happy existence or a fulfilled existence because they're doing what they're doing. But we, on the other hand, and I include myself, and excuse me for including you if you don't belong in that
I don't.
But I'm going to repeat myself. We're always placing faith in the thing that isn't. I suppose maybe in a way it quantifies. Mm-hmm. It quantifies sort of like everything that we do, but because I don't know. I think a lot of things. We've said this before on the show, but how we have been taken away from us. I say it aloud. How we've sort of like been taken away from ourselves. Mm-hmm. This thing of disempowerment.
Yes.
I mean, you have your intuition, because people always say, oh, well, what is my intuition? I don't know what my intuition is.
Yes,
but Wendy, I actually genuinely don't, some people I don't think they do. That first thought that you have is your intuition telling you what to do, mm-hmm. Or giving you advice. I mean, and not listening to those little things is actually sometimes why our lives go to hell in a handbasket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
mm-hmm.
those are the things, you say, okay, I want to do this, but we're not listening to those little things. Okay, the cream cake you may think has nothing to do with sort of like saying, okay, well, I want to be a billionaire.
Hey,
but
come on.
It's part of a stepping stone.
Exactly.
And if we don't listen to it, all we have to do is go the long way round.
Exactly. This is something that I truly try to express to people on a regular basis, that it is the small things. And as you said, Liz, that was absolutely brilliant. What does a cream cake, of which you ate 9, Olivia, and then want to eat the 10th, has to do with you becoming a billionaire? If you cannot take care of the small things in life, how do you truly expect to take care of the big things? If you cannot see the stepping stones, even if you're doing a quantum leap, because when people do a quantum leap, it's not like they're not seeing what they're leaping over. They're not blind to what they're leaping over. They know what they're leaping over, and they know what they're leaping over because they know that whatever I have traversed in this quantum leap, I know and I have the understanding of what it has brought to me. And I can only have that understanding because I am able to do this quantum leap. But a lot of people don't realize it's the small things that assist and support you in getting what you want.
That's right. Because, that small thing, I mean, okay, they ate the last cream cake, the 10th cream cake, and okay, they started to feel, like they were having palpitations and all that sort of, and they were thinking, okay, oh my gosh, maybe I'm going to have a heart attack. Okay, so they say, okay, right, I'm going to go to hospital. They go to the hospital, and at the hospital, they meet the man of their dreams.
Okay, yeah, I hear you.
And they go off to, in the sunset and what have you. They go to, I'm going to say Vegas, somewhere else where they do loads of copious amounts of gambling, and they win their £1 billion.
Exactly.
You just don't know. But that first intuitive, and I'm not condoning anyone going out and doing anything, illegal Wen's he still there?
Yes, love. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not condoning, saying, someone going out there and doing things illegally or hurting other people or anything like that. But I mean, it's imperative that we listen to those very first thoughts.
Exactly. And the desire, I would say this on the back of that. If the desire is to go out and, do grievous bodily harm to your ex, if that's a thought that you have, believe me, invariably it's not your intuition. That's an emotion speaking to you, and a strong emotion. Well, what you would hear is your intuition saying to you, "Don't do that."
Well, and also prior to that, getting that riled up about it, there had to be dialogue in between there as well.
Exactly, Olivia. Exactly.
So going out and actually, I would say physically doing something to someone or causing someone some sort of mental, emotional or physical harm, there had to have been, that's like the defensive
that you
action.
spoke of before.
Yeah, that's the defensive action. Yeah.
All spiritual texts, as I said earlier, all spiritual texts are constantly driving home the point that your power is held within your words and the words that you speak. You see, guys, it doesn't matter, as I said earlier, if anybody understands the words that you were speaking, and it really doesn't. What matters is what you believe. And it does. It matters what you believe.
No, why I laughed is because when I was running the wine bar.
Okay, yeah.
There used to be this guy who came in, and my goodness. I mean, he was just like,
okay.
Like, okay, what would you like to drink?
Oh, a glass of beer. On tap.
Oh. Yeah. And funnily enough, he was completely and utterly able to get his point across.
Exactly.
Even though he couldn't speak he was speaking English, but I mean, but he did it deliberately. He did it, but I don't know why he did it deliberately, because he used to go around with this group of young guys. He was a lot older, but he used to go around with these young guys, and they would talk to him. So I knew he could talk properly. But that's how he chose to communicate, I suppose, with anyone who wasn't in his circle. People understood him,
and that's the thing they do. They really do. You can get your point across. This is what I mean, that words truly are a universal language that talks to the spirit. It's about the spiritual expression and vibration of self.
Exactly. In that, I mean, when you think about words, as you say, any sound that we make is a vibration.
Exactly.
And as we are all sort of like made of the same
vibration.
Exactly. Yeah. I think sometimes we resonate. We all resonate on a different frequency, but that vibration is something that's universal. So when someone's actually talking to you, it's not only, you don't only hear it. I think you feel it. You taste it. You see it.
There you
go.
But
that's something that sort of like we haven't, we've actually, maybe I shouldn't say this, we've actually devolved.
Exactly.
Evolved.
Exactly.
But then maybe, why I say maybe I shouldn't say it is because maybe this is just how it's supposed to be.
And there is that. Sometimes I think there is that as part of our evolutionary growth, both here and in spirit. You see, we can't evolve here and not in spirit. We can't evolve in spirit and not here. And so sometimes I think it has a lot to do with that. That's my personal thing. As I sit, I contemplate, I think, I meditate. And it's like the conversation we had when I moved into my office, the office that I'm currently in, and we were talking about God and, what is that? What's the God energy? And we got to the point where, okay, well, for me, my imagination couldn't expand any further at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that being said, let me just say this about the bloke who came into the wine bar and was like, can you imagine if Gina was waiting on him? Can you imagine? What?
That that wouldn't work. That wouldn't
No,
work.
that wouldn't work. No, that wouldn't work. Because when you said that, I was like, oh, goodness. Can you imagine if you waited on him? That would not be a good thing. That would be ugly. But that being said, it doesn't matter if anybody doesn't understand you. Invariably, as Olivia has just illustrated, you can actually get your point across. You can be heard. Okay? So it matters truly how much you believe in what you're saying, and that will transmit it. And one of the things that I do believe, it doesn't even matter if you really understand. What matters is your belief in what's going on for you. Does that make sense, Liv?
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, love.
No, I was going to say, and if you don't think that sort of like there's something more to communication than just words or the physical, there are times when we all go somewhere and there's someone in the room and you just not feeling them. Your girlfriend, introduced you to her new man, and you think, oh, no. That, I mean, where is that coming from? There has to be some sort of vibration that you're picking up, because that person, you don't know them from Adam. So there has to be something a lot more than just, what we can physically see.
Yep. And for you, and let me just say that with that scenario, it's how you and them, your energy is interchanging, because they might go off into the sunset and live happily ever after. It's all rainbows and buttercups and all of that, cupcakes or whatever. And they might go into the sunset and it be that, but you never ever. There's never ever there's always like this discordant note.
Yeah.
That's there, and it's for you to know that, and it's for you to act on it accordingly. However it shows up for you.
That's right. Because I think it's a way of how we pick up on someone's thoughts in a subconscious way as well.
The non-verbals.
Yeah, in a subconscious way.
The non-verbals. The non-verbals and the verbals.
Yeah.
That it transcends that. It transcends that. The fact that they're breathing, is enough. So it transcends the non-verbals, and by that I mean body language, because body language is huge, and it transcends the verbals, what you verbally express. I mean, as Olivia said, which is true, you go somewhere and you go into this party or what have you, and everybody does a scan. They might not believe this. They do a sweep of the room. It is in our innate nature to do this. This is about survival. And you do a scan of the room, even if it's dark, and somebody might have their back to you. I remember Uncle saying that we were talking about spiritual things, and Uncle said that he had been somewhere, and he said he saw this guy, and Uncle said the hairs on the back of his neck stood up. But Uncle said, the guy was really friendly and everything. And Uncle was like, no. And he said, to this day, Uncle, he was really low. To this day, he couldn't figure out why. Why? He couldn't figure out why. But it's that sort of thing, And I believe that Uncle made his transition never knowing why.
Well, he does now, so.
I would imagine, yes. Once he made his transition, it's my belief that he does. So that being said, guys, all spiritual texts are constantly driving home the point, and this is whether it's the Torah, whether it is the Devas, whether it's always driving home the point that power is held within the words that you speak, and your words actually are a way of bringing your thoughts into conscious alignment with who you are, so that you can see them to express them. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Did you say your thoughts or your words? I can't remember what you said.
Your words.
Okay.
Your words.
Because I think in in many respects, because as you said before, the thoughts come first. The words are just there to back up
exactly
the thought.
So that you can communicate them. So that like I can communicate that this post-it is a hideous bilious green. And people can get that if they know what bilious is. Bile color green. Or yes. So it's about the thought and then the words. How the words communicate. Words are used to communicate.
I think it just adds a different vibration to the whole thought process.
It does. It does.
So and that's what I meant by back it. It backs it up. It gives it more potency.
Yep. Yeah. It actually begins the solidification process.
I suppose it's like taking on a different state. It takes on a different state, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
It moves to another state. See, in the Bible, we got John 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Now, if people just took that alone, never read anything else in the Bible, and took that alone, right there, it tells you from a Christian perspective. They say this also in the Quran. They say this in the Torah. They say this in the Divas. All of this I was reading yesterday. Okay? If you just take that alone, the word, powerful the words are. And if you back it up with, I'm believing it's Genesis, don't quote me, and God said, using words to bring into manifestation, let there be light. Words are truly powerful. If you want to go further on, you go to John 1, verse 14. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Guys, what that means from a metaphysical standpoint, which is what I am and who I am, a metaphysician who believes in the spiritual laws or the universal laws, what that means is, and the Word was made flesh, the Word was manifested and it dwelt among us, showed up in your life. So as a metaphysician, and again, as a believer in the universal laws, a believer in the spiritual laws, a believer in the power that we have, that these laws, they when I say that they govern, they're not here to restrict us. The universal laws aren't about restricting us. But the universe governs by giving us guidelines that are stretchable, parameters that can move. The universal laws allow us to make choices. So as you said a while ago, Liz, they allow us to make choices so we can consciously create the states that we want to live in. And this is what words do for us. Words allow us to take ownership, responsibility, and accountability for the states that we are creating. We are always creating states. We are always manifesting things as we move through life. Because we are always thinking thoughts, and in order for us to understand the thoughts that we are thinking, or at least know the thought that we are thinking consciously, we need to put words to them. This is why words are so important. And for us in this particular world where we use 26 letters in the alphabet, 5 of which are vowels, 21 which are consonants, this is why it is so important for us. This is why it's so important for anybody, whatever language they use, whether they use an alphabet, whether it's a pictorial alphabet, whether it's, 15 letters in the alphabet, whatever they use. And if they don't, the ability to communicate, the ability to express yourself is the stuff that will take you from state to state. But as you move from state to state, understand that you have to take ownership, responsibility, and accountability for that which state you are in. Liv, yesterday, as I was actually outlining the show, because this show went up really late, because I wasn't sure if we were really going on air. I wasn't sure if we were going to be on holiday, but I know you figured out that we weren't, right?
Well, yeah, okay.
as I outlined the show yesterday, I have to admit I was really engulfed by a serious wave of sadness, Liv. I really was. And I'm not 100% sure if it was, I would say I'm going to own that I was in the mix, but I do know that I was engulfed by a wave of sadness by how disconnected people are from the words that they speak, and recognizing that these words truly are made flesh. They truly manifest. They truly create the life that they are living, you know, the macrosphere. And I really have to say that I really was. I just thought, how bloody sad, you know. And I know we've aired many shows on this subject. This isn't the first show that we've aired on this subject. But I have to say, again, I was doing this yesterday, and it was, you know, it wasn't even a kiss my teeth moment. It was just, it wasn't even shake my, I actually felt like crying. And then after I got over that, I said to myself, it's time that people understand the rules of engagement. And that's one of the, we've done a show several years ago called that. But it's time that people understand the rules of engagement that they're seemingly unaware of. You know, again, yesterday, and I don't know if it's because I have found all this research when I was looking, but in Matthew, it's eloquently stated, Matthew 12, 36 through 37, but I tell you that all men will give an account on the day of judgment for every careless word they have spoken. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Okay? And a lot of people, they take that, oh, you're going to stand in front of God and God's going to mete out the punishment. That's not how that goes. That's another thing, that's a whole fallacy that people don't understand. And this I know that which I speak of because of my near-death experience. I know this. People actually know this for themselves. You know, people have this thing that, you know, as we did a show the other day, y'all understand, story doesn't make it better. It doesn't change the fact that you did it. It means you understand that perhaps you shouldn't have done it. Or it means that you recognize there might have been another way, or you didn't have enough information. You didn't have the whole story. You see, the careless words that you speak, and I think this is the thing that I think engulfed me, that so many people, they just talk stuff. They talk all over themselves. And what they don't realize is that for every word that they put out there, there is a vibrationary, a vibration that's attached to it, an energetic vibration that's attached to it, that has and will return to you, because your word will not return to you void. It's impossible. You're attached to it.
Can I just say something? It's going back a bit. It's been sort of like going through my mind. You know, you were talking about with the Bible, and you're saying the first word was with God.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, was the word, and the word was with God.
Yeah. So that you could say is like God speak, yeah? Or your God self speaking.
There you go.
So every word,
come on,
every thought that you hear yourself think is the first word.
That's why I am is the most important. That's why I love Uncle Neville. That's why I am is the most important word you can use in your life. I am. Oh, well, you finished. I'm sorry.
No, I had more or less. You know, because for me, if that is the word, that your first word, then it has to be your God self
Exactly, Olivia.
speaking to you.
Exactly. But you see, we have been taught. We have been taught. We have been taught that. Shut up, Olivia. We've been taught that God is an external being to us. People will say that they are brothers and sisters in Christ. Well, how does that work? If you are brothers and sisters in Christ, how does that work? If you call God your Father, how does that work that you cannot be or you cannot have the powers that God has, even a little bit? No, I'm serious. Even a little bit.
It was really caught me when you said that.
Oh,
can I just ask you what that means? The first one that you said. I can't remember what it was now.
Which one?
What was the first one you said?
About what? What?
You just did
Isaiah?
two things. Yeah, I can't remember. I really can't remember.
No. Okay. All right. Are you talking about in the beginning was the Word? Or are you talking about the Word was made flesh? Or were you talking about and so my word shall go forth out of my mouth?
No.
Okay. But I tell you, all men will give an account of the day of judgment. Will give an account on the day of judgment for every careless word they have spoken. For by your word you will be justified, and by your word you will be condemned. No?
Your justification. No. Your justification and your condemnation is what you see and hear around you. I mean, that's what it is.
Exactly. That's a fact. That's a fact. You don't have to wait until you make your transition to experience
not at all.
condemnation and justification. You absolutely don't have to wait on God for that. Because again, many people see God as this entity outside of self, but yet still in the Word. And again, this is all over all spiritual texts. They say that God resides within you, that you are the temple of the living God. So that's mean.
Sorry.
Go ahead, love.
Brothers and sisters in Jesus.
In Christ.
In Christ. Mm-hmm. Not of Christ, but in. What does that actually mean?
Literally, as it says, literally that you are brothers and sisters. Christ is my brother. I am his sister.
Sisters of Christ. Okay.
Brothers and sisters in Christ. It speaks about the unity of.
And Christ was the Son of God, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So doesn't that make them the Son of... Is that what it means?
No, Liv, not to them.
Oh, right.
Believe me, not to them. Because if you say to anybody, you say to the majority of people of Christian faith that you are a God, irrespective of it saying that in the Word, the Bible that they read, in irrespective, they will say that it is blasphemous for you to say that. But if this is your lineage, if this is your heritage, if you believe that you came from Adam and Eve were created by God, where is the origin of your creation? You see, in the Bible it does say, ye are gods. Don't you know that ye are gods? And you see, it's those things that people skip over. But they'll tell you what a sinner you are. I'm serious. They'll tell you what a sinner you are because you ain't put enough money in so that they can fix this roof that they've been fixing for 25 years. But yet still the pastor's driving around in the latest Mercedes-Benz. Okay? So, for me, honestly, Liz, yesterday when I say I was engulfed by this, stop it, Olivia, I was engulfed by this wave of sadness, I really was. And I do realize that people are looking for something different. People, yesterday I saw the Pope talking, and they're talking about allowing women to become deacons. which means that they can do many of things that Father so-and-so does, whatever, and that women can become deacons. And I thought, how generous of you. How generous of you. But that being said, what it illustrated to me, once I got over my little snit, was that there is change afoot. See, when the Catholic Church make change like that, you understand there is serious change afoot. Because people want something different. They know that what they are being fed is not what they want to eat. I'm serious. They know it. They know it. People have been disempowered. And they've been disempowered because they have chosen to go external to self instead of going internally to self. Every solution that you are looking for is inside you. Every answer to every problem that you have is inside you. I'm not saying that you know how to, you have the know-how. But in order for you to know how, you need to have an answer too. People are giving people information, and it's disinformation. You know, Liz, I look on Facebook. You know, I'm on Facebook, and I look at all these people who are talking about, oh, you know, I can get you, I don't know, to 6 figures, or I can increase the clientele base. I can do all of this. And, you know, you've got all these people, and they're all flocking, and they're all doing this, and they're all doing that, and yet still it's not happening for them. But the person who is doing this is making money hand over fist. They have a house in Maui. They have a house in Mayfair. They have a house here, there, everywhere. They've got all of this, and guess why they got this? Because you won't take the time to sit down and figure out what it is that you want to do for you. You won't take the time to listen to the words that are swirling around your head that's saying, this really isn't working, but he said so-and-so, so I'm going to try that. You know, Liz, you know how many people I say to, guys, you really need to go inside. But yet still they want me to tell them. And you know that ain't working. I ain't telling.
Are you going to need a ladder?
Yes, come on, Olivia. they want me to tell them. You know, people don't understand that life and death are in the power of their tongue. And those who love it will eat its fruit, which means that whatever you do, whatever you choose to say, you own it. You own it. I don't care if this person told you that or that person. You own it. And the fruit of your words are yours to eat, and yours alone. Nobody else can eat that. We've all been taught that we will answer to God or a higher power. But who we really answer to is ourselves. We answer to ourselves for every word that we have constructed, for every word that we have spoken, for every thought that has changed state by becoming a word. We answer for that. And the more emotion and the more passion and the more belief that is behind that word is the stronger that word becomes, to the point that it will be made manifest or made flesh, or whatever phrase you want to, it will come into being. The emotion, guilt. Actually, guilt is a universal law. And this law is a wonderful law. Actually, my sister-in-law, Mo, she will say, guilt is such a useless emotion. Right? But guilt is a universal law. It's a spiritual law. It's a natural law. It's God's law. It is a law. And you see, guilt allows you to judge yourself for what you've done. You don't have to, nobody else has to judge you. And judgment, the universal law of judgment, isn't about meting out a punishment to you. It's about illustrating to you what you have done. And look at it closely. That's what guilt and judgment are about. Those two laws work in tandem, or can work in tandem. And then what happens is the universal law of rebound kicks in, and rebound says literally that you have the right to come out of any situation that you have been in better and more knowledgeable than when you went in. So the universal law of guilt truly is about letting you know, hey, you've done something that truthfully is counterintuitive to who you are, and it has put up resistance. The words that you have spoken are truly out of alignment with who you really are. This is why you can speak words and really not feel good about yourself. Actually, when you're not feeling good about yourself because you've done something, that's guilt. Don't get it twisted. I don't feel good about myself for doing that. No, that's guilt. And once guilt has invoked itself, the universal law of judgment will invoke itself too, so that you can see what it is that you have done that is counter to who you are. Our views on God and our relationship with God is so skewed that we don't even realize when we're stringing together consonants and vowels to form syllables and words. We don't even realize that we are making creations, or we are creating the life sentence that we are living. We don't even realize that we're creating the life sentence. So why am I living a life sentence? Because of the words that you are stringing together. Because of your skewed relationship with yourself and God, and not realizing the God within self. Not realizing your innate power. Not realizing that every thought that you put a syllable or a vowel or a consonant to means that you've just owned it. Means that you've just claimed it. You've just moved from a different state. And understand that when we string all this together to create words, we are creating a life sentence for self. And the life sentence is this way. Either it's going to make you happy or sad. It's either the blue pill or the red pill. That's the one thing I love about life. We can say that there are all these shades of gray in between, but there is either this or that. If you are not happy, then you are in some form of sadness. If you are happy, that means you are not in some form of sadness. You know, I don't know where everything became so complicated. But I would say this to you guys. It's past time that you all start doing your due diligence. You get to choose whether you see the majestic power within yourself. You get to choose whether you continue to play small or you can play big. You see, guys, it's time to start using your words consciously. Consciously with the intent to create what you want. Another thing that we have spoken about, Lives, is that you come here with everything that you need to fulfill your purpose in life and to live your dream life. But most of us, not all of us, but most of us are afraid to dream. We're afraid to dream. And we're afraid that if we really start working on our dreams, that we'll fail, not recognizing that you choose to embrace that situation as failure or success. So it didn't go right. What did you do? Okay, sit down and cry, do whatever you need to do. Whatever it is that you need to get that emotion up and out so you can look at it. If you're going to judge yourself, do that. If you feel guilty, do that. If you're going to, whatever it is, do you need to forgive yourself? Do you need to love yourself? Whatever it is. Feel the emotion, and then you get to choose whether or not you flip the script to find out what has happened to you, is showing you or teaching you. You see, and I say this continuously, and I will continue to say this, your life is happening for you. Your life is happening for you. You see, if you don't have a dream, you will hitch yourself to someone else's dream. And you'll live their dream. And many people are doing this in their relationships. They're doing this in their jobs. They're doing this in their marriages. They're doing this in their partnerships. Many people have hitched themselves to somebody else's dream. And they wind up living this lonely, angry, dissatisfied life that's just simmering under the surface, waiting to implode. Because you don't explode, you implode. And in that implosion, it's telling you that it's time to stop playing small and be the I am, the big I am that you are. You see, guys, the greatest gift that you have been given, and for me it's two gifts, but I'll go with the first one. The greatest gift that you have been given is not life. You see, life is eternal. Life is eternal. This body is just for a moment in time. You go on, and depending upon your belief, mine is that you go on. So life isn't that big a deal. It's a moment in time. So the greatest gift that you have been given is the power of your words to create how you choose to live your life, whether in this body or in spirit world, in the heavens, in the celestial world, whatever floats your boat. So the greatest gift that you have been given is the power that you have in your word. The greatest universal law, which the laws we have been given to assist and support us, because as I was saying a little while ago, you have everything that you need. You know, you think that you incarnated here without having everything you need to create the life that you want to live, to create the life so that you fulfill your divine purpose? I mean, that's tantamount to setting you up truly for failure. Tantamount to entrapment. That's the word I was looking for. That's tantamount to entrapment. And the universe doesn't work that way. That's definitely a man thing. Universe doesn't work that way. So you have everything that you need. So the greatest universal law that you have been given is your divine right to choose for self in the best interest of self. So guys, I'm hoping that you get it. So how you choose to use your words or the letters of the alphabet, 21 consonants and 5 vowels, how you choose whatever language, whether it's pictorial, whatever language, and or if choose to use your words to create. That is the life that you are going to live. And incidentally, just so we're on the same page, this, what I have just said, transcends science. People are always looking for science to back up a fact. To back up a fact. This is a fact. And you can do your due diligence to find that out. You can do your due diligence to find that out. And by doing your due diligence, what I'm saying is you create an affirmation or you create a mantra. Use the word I am in the beginning, and I am, I don't know, wise. I am able to see with 20/20 vision. I am rich. I am happy. Use that, a small word. A small something, what appears to be small. Put the word I am in it and repeat it every day, 1,000 times a day, and see if your words will not return to you void. See that your words will return to you. You will see that whatever you say, as Olivia said, the first word in the beginning was the word, the first word. You will see that the words that you speak, and every word you speak is actually the first word. You will see that your words will not return to you void. You will see that your word will be made flesh and it will dwell amongst us. It will dwell. It will show up. You will live it. It will be your macrosphere. And that's an easy thing to do. What is it that you don't want? Well, I don't want to be broke. Okay? I am financially wealthy and stable. That's all you have to say. I am financially wealthy and stable. Repeat that 1,000 times a day. Turn off your car radio. Turn off those damn, what you call them? What you call them? Cookie and them. I'm always talking about them, which is why their name's gone out of my head. The Kardashians. There you go. Turn off the Kardashians. You know what? And I've got to give them props because they're doing what they're doing. Turn off The Bachelor, Survivor. Turn off these programs. Turn off the damn news too. Turn it off. And instead of watching that, keep affirming what you are. And when you affirm it to the point where it assimilates with who you are, you then become it. And when you become it, that energy goes out there and will not return to you void. It has to bring back. It has to accomplish that which you please, that which you want, that which you have sent it forth. It shall prosper in the thing that you have asked for, and it will be sent to you. The universal law of talk. This is the manifesting magic. This is the power of God in your words. This shows you that you are truly sons and daughters of God. That one single thing, your word. That one single thing, your word to your word. And you cannot be any otherwise because you are the word made flesh. So guys, if you are wanting something different in your life, if you are wanting something truly different in your life, it's now time to stop playing the game and be the game. You be the game in your life. You see, every day, every minute, every second, you are living. And you are living your life based on 26 letters in this alphabet and how you string them together to formulate your words. As you string them together to formulate your words, you create your life through a sentence. You create your life through a sentence.
Can I just interject?
Yeah, while you are.
It's not that interesting. It's just a thought that came to me. So if any of the listening audience want to go off and make a cup of tea, I'll actually allow that. But you did sentence, right? And I was sitting here because you said it before, and I was thinking, okay, what does that mean? Because you know my thing in words is like, to me, there's always a reason why something is called a reason. And I dare say the way I interpret it is kind of biased along, you know, the what we're talking about at the particular moment, or at the moment and time. Yeah, okay. So like sentence, okay, you break it down. Sent, okay, is to like to send something. Yeah. Tense can be in an emotional state, right? Sentence is like to send a state.
Yes.
Right. So when you speak, you emit a state, and that's kind of like the same as, you know, your words made manifest.
Exactly, Olivia. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, sweetheart. Well said. Well said. And you see, guys, this is what I mean. Olivia has always been curious about anagrams. Have I got that right? About anagrams. And as the show has evolved, we'll be doing stuff, and she'll look up a word, you know, or she'll figure out what does this actually mean. Some of the root of what the word means, and I'm not talking about the Latin of every word, because every word has a Latin root to it. Every word has an Aramaic root to it also. That being said, she figures it out. And you see, guys, it empowers you. What were you going to say, love?
And it's phonetically, not like exactly as it's spelt, just in case someone said, well, it's not spelt like that.
Well, yeah, of course. Where I was going with this, guys, is you have to do your own due diligence. You see, because the people who were fishing for you, they're either old and they're dying, or they don't know what to do because the fish are no longer there, or they're no longer able to fish for you, or they don't want to fish for you.
Or there's no fish to catch anymore.
Exactly. There's no fish to catch here anymore. So how are you going to feed yourself mentally? How are you going to feed yourself spiritually?
I wondered where you were going with that.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? How? It is so important. It is so important that you do your own due diligence. There's nothing wrong with listening to what people have to say. There's nothing wrong with listening to what I have to say. There's nothing wrong with listening to what Olivia has to say. When it becomes wrong, for me, is when you don't do your own due diligence and truly take from it what works for you. Just don't take it as gospel. You see, that's the difference between me as a metaphysician and other I don't know, religions or what have you out there. I don't take it as gospel. It is my job. It's incumbent upon me to see how verses like, I don't know, Proverbs, what have I got here? Proverbs 21, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat it. It's incumbent upon me to work out what that means for me in my life. Not somebody telling me what it has to mean.
We'll say that again. I've never heard that.
Yeah, Proverbs 21. Yeah, life and death. And I don't know whose version, because you know I'm basically a King James person as Bibles go. But Olivia, they got a whole group of Bibles out there. It was trippy. When I first started doing the show and I started looking, I was like, whoo! And you wonder why there's so much. Anyway, never mind. But Proverbs 21, life and death are in the tongue. Life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Wow.
And those who love it will eat it. So good or bad, life or death, you get to eat it. It's your manifestation, which is why I said I can't eat it for you. It's not mine. What you manifest is for you. What I manifest is for me. You know, but yeah, that's Proverbs 21, or at least I think it is, actually, Proverbs 21.
Interesting.
But that being said, guys, it's really important that you understand the power of your words. Understand that the power of your words literally take the pictorial pictures in your imagination, and they bring them to a thought form, the state of a thought form, into a word that can be communicated. Your words are you communicating. And as you communicate your words, whether you do this audibly and or in the seclusion of your mind, your words will not return to you void. They will accomplish that which you want. It's bottom line. So at the end of the day, guys, it's time to stop the BS. It's time. It's absolutely time. It's time to stop the BS. So, Liz, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, not at all.
All right, guys. The book of the month, which is already up for August, is Your Invisible Power by Genevieve Bertrand. I think it is Bertrand. I think her name is B Bertrand or Berand or something, right? But anyway,
you know you're wrong, don't you?
Yeah, no.
You could at least spell it for people.
Okay, it's Behrend. So it's Genevieve, Behrend. Okay, and the book is called Your Invisible Power. It's really an excellent book. You can download this, or you can get to it anyway from my website, The Laws of Attraction in Action. If you go to the book and movie of the month, you'll find all the information there and a link to download the book, the PDF. I think that's up there, the PDF of the book. Also, you'll be able to listen to it or download it from YouTube. So, guys, I encourage you to listen to that. It has a wealth of information in there. And it's time to start doing your work. It's time to start doing your work. It's above time. So, guys, we are going to be, as the saying goes, for Olivia and myself, who will raise up doing drama, the show will be dark for the next 4 weeks, or at least I think it will. Olivia won't be here at any rate. She demanded a vacation. So the show will be dark for 4 weeks, and I say that because my intuition is telling me no. If it's not, I will post something and you will see it. But if not, we will be back September the
21st.
No, September the 7th, 2016. So guys, let me just do this, because this lady I've shut in my ears one. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so guys, look for us then. You have actually been... Jamila, is there anything that you wanted to say? Please press 1 now. On point and on topic.
I actually thought you weren't going to say that today.
Yeah, no, I just up some more minutes. Hi, Jamila, how are you
Hello.
doing?
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Olivia, how are you? Okay, first I just want to say, how are you going to call me out at the beginning? Oh, my gosh. I was trying to just sneak into the back of the classroom, and you just busted me out.
I'm sure did.
But to be very quick in observation, and this is just a personal musing. Sometimes when we are first learning how to do something, we're very conscious of it. Like when we're first learning how to walk, we're very conscious of how our feet and our legs are moving. But once we know how to do it, we take it for granted until something happens where, an ACL tear or what have you, where we have to be conscious again of walking. We, as you spoke about, we do already speak things into life, usually negatively, but we're already doing that, whether we're conscious or not of doing it. And so, life just doesn't teach us to pay attention to that anymore. And so I think that's where people have such a hard time becoming re-conscious or re-aware, to reshape their words and to not be casual and slick with the way that they speak, that people have such a hard time really grabbing onto it and really, because it's work until it becomes the new normal. And I experienced that even, in providing counseling. People are like, oh, this is so awkward. I don't like doing this. This is not natural. I said, well, you got to practice it until it becomes your new normal, and it's better for you. So that's just my observation on, why people have such a hard time accepting it.
So for you, what would you say to the listening audience? in regard to the best way to overcome that or to work through it, get through it, whatever phrase suits you.
My best advice is even with the Bible, start small. Start with, one thing that you can re-speak. Whether it's an aspect of your personality or your attitude, or how you approach your day. Start with that something small and be conscious. And as it changes, that's the encouragement to get bigger and to go bigger and to really see where it's working.
Okay. Just
starting small.
Okay. Okay. All right, darling. Well, thank you, love. I appreciate that. And we will see you in a few. And
all right.
Don't try to slide in back of class because I can see you.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
All right, Jamila. Thank you, sweetheart. You have a good one.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, Jamila.
Bye.
Bye, love.
Bye.
All right, guys. And I like that. I like that phrase. It's work until it becomes the new normal. I actually like that phrase very well. It's work until it becomes the new normal. I like that. So that being said, anyway, Liz, is there anything that you would like to add?
No.
Okay, guys, I do truly appreciate you listening. And again, we will be back on the 7th, or we will be back live on the 7th of September 2016. So until then, enjoy the rest of your summer holiday as the year is rapidly moving towards a close. And whatever you do, make sure it's fun. And again, guys, do your own due diligence. Think of something that you want to change in your life, whether it be love, whether it be relationships, or what have you. And you start out by saying, I am. You start out by saying, I am. Add whatever it is to the end of that and repeat it over and over. And the I am will become you are. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne. I am a choice expert and coach, and my co-host has been
Olivia Lashley from London in the UK.
She is an expressions coach and artist, and you have been listening to an episode of My Life, My Choice. Until next time, guys, love you guys. Love you, sis.
Love you too, darling.
As always, thank you, my love, for, for all the information and the insights and everything that you bring to the show. It just makes it that much better, and I learn. No, I'm serious. I learn so much. Like sentence, I learn so much. I learn so much. So love you, sis. Until next time. I think, let me see, who am I going to go out with? Now, why I took off my glasses, I don't know.
It's going to be food, glorious food, isn't it?
Actually, no.
Yes, it is.
No,
It's Bob Marley then.
No.
Melody Bartone.
No, it's not Melody.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah, I can't find it. No, I should put on Yvonne Fair. It should have been me because I know you hate that.
No, it's okay. Why do you think that?
Because you said you don't like the song.
When? A long time ago?
No, just recently.
Or since I evolved.
Oh, because you said to me I don't like the song.
Oh, maybe I don't. I think the lyrics, they...
Are they harsh?
They're kind of whiny. They're kind of whiny.
No, I'm going to go out with Sister Sledge. We are family. All right.
You just used all that time to find something that I hadn't said, right?
Yeah, you. Truly. All right, love you, sis. Love you guys.
Right, love you too,
Until next time, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne signing out with Sister Sledge. We are family.